Hey there my lovelies, and welcome to my BookTube channel, The Sassy Library Fox. My name is V, and today I'm going to do another tag. I'm finally catching up to all the tags I was tagged for and I'm happy and glad to say I finally made it into the year 2022. Yay, go me! And the tag I'm going to do today is the ratings and review tag. And I was kindly tagged by Beki at Teacup the Storyteller. I think she tagged me in January 2022, and in April I got tagged by Leo at the U Bancroft as well. So thank you too for thinking of me and for tagging me for this. If you don't know their channels yet, please go over there and check them out. I will drop the links in the description box below. And they have amazing channels, they have awesome content. I love both of their channels, and please, if you have some time to spare, give them some love and go watch their videos, they are great. And I think the original tag was done by Scott and Nell at Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. I actually wrote this down because there's no way my brain can remember things like that at the moment. I studied real hard. I'm recording this video in the middle of September and I'm just busy with studying, doing homework, and yeah, trying to prepare for my exam. So if this is slightly chaotic, I'm sorry, but yeah, I have to cut myself some slack somewhere, and being a little bit more chaotic than usual, or actually being my normal self without organizing all the things I want to talk about first, is pretty, yeah, that's pretty normal. That's actually me when I don't have the time to get things sorted. Anyway, enough of this, and let's just head to the first question. And the first question is, tag folks. And I have no idea if those people have already done the tag or not, but they are booktubers who are all awesome and they are all great. They have super intriguing and interesting content, and they always think of me and tag me, so I decided to tag people that tagged me before so that I can finally give something back to them. I hope you didn't do the tag already, but I'm going to tag Jem at Bookish Gems, Lauren at Paperback Empire, Jolene at Bookworm Adventure Girl, Em at Emily Alteri, and Katja at With Katja. So you guys are tagged. Thank you so much. You get a double finger heart for always thinking of me and for tagging me for tags. I just wanted to give something back, and I hope you can do this tag as well. So without further ado, let's just jump into the questions. I have them on my phone and I will just read them from here and answer right away. I have no idea what the questions will be. I didn't prepare for this at all, so yeah, please be with me. Okay, here goes nothing. Question number 2. How do you know you've just finished a good book? Is it a thinking or a feeling response? I think kind of both. At first, when I finished the book and closed the final page, it's definitely a feeling thing, because after reading an ending to a story, if the story is good, I'm pretty emotional. So that would be the first reaction, and after a while it would be some sort of thinking thing. For instance, I read Sadie, and Sadie was a 4.5 stars read for me when I finished the book, and the more I thought about it and the more the story had time to sink in, it became a 4-paw read or 5-paw read, if you want to call it like that. So I think it's both. It has to tick off both things for me to be a good book. the emotional aspect and the thinking aspect as well. So yeah, I'll just go with this answer. Question number 3. When you begin to form your review rating, what is the first question you ask yourself? That's a good one. When I begin to write my reviews, I usually write down all the quotes I marked during reading the book. So the first thing I think about when I think about the reading is how the book made me feel. And that actually goes hand in hand with the way I review books, because the first paragraph of my reviews is always the emotions and feelings I had while reading the book. So yeah, that's the first thing I think about when I read and review a book. But usually there are a couple of days in between me finishing a book and actually writing the review. So I have enough time to think about the thinking aspect as well. So I would say it's some sort of mixture of thinking and feeling when I start to write my review. And after that it goes into detail. I think I will go with that. I don't know if this answered the question, but yeah, we just leave it at that. Question number 4. Do you do star ratings? Why? Why not? A, if yes, explain your star rating system. What does a good book get in your rating system? Is your star rating consistent? Are all your 5-star books better than all your 4-star books? If no, what language do you use to convey the quality of a book in your reviews? Does it form an informal rating or ranking? Okay, those were a lot of questions in one question. Okay, let me think. Do you do star ratings? Why and why not? Yes, I do star ratings. On Goodreads I do star ratings, and on my blog and here I have my pause. So yes, I do ratings. And why? Because I think for me it's a good way to keep tabs on if I like the book or not. And why is a good question. I honestly think it might help other people to find a book they like and enjoy, because once they read a couple of my reviews, they know my taste and which kind of books I liked and didn't like. And a lot of the people that follow me, for instance on Goodreads, know if I like the book, they might like it too because they have similar tastes. So I think it's important to rate books. But I also think it's only really, it only really has an impact on other people reading books if they know your bookish taste, or if they know you good enough to know your bookish taste, if you get what I mean. Because otherwise, if just someone reads one of my reviews randomly and I gave it a 4 stars or a 5-star, they won't know to trust me. Does that make any sense? You can see I'm totally unscripted today, so I'm just shooting out the answers the way they come to my mind, and my mind is sometimes chaotic, especially now. Anyway, I think I answered that one. Explain your star rating system. What does a good book get in your rating system? Is your star rating consistent? Are all your 5-star books better than all your 4-star books? Yes, I can answer that with a definite yes. All the books I rated 5 stars are better than the ones I rated 4 stars, because books have to have an emotional impact on me to rate it 5 stars. If they don't have that but are great books, they usually get a 4 poor rating from me, or 4-star rating. If they have that emotional impact and make me look up fan art, or fan fiction or whatever, then they are 5-star books. I think you can say the more I get obsessed with the book, the higher the rating is going to be. So a 5 paw rating is definitely a book I'm super obsessed with. I wanted to page through, I want to look up fan fiction for, and I totally loved. And 4-star books is a really great book, but it didn't make me want to look up fan art, and I really enjoyed it, but I know I won't read it again. Yeah, I think that's basically the difference between my 4 and 5-star ratings. And as for the question, what does a good book get in my rating system? Well, a good book gets 3 or 4 paws, and a really amazing and great book gets 5. I think I answered that now. I think we're fine with this. I'll just go to question number 5. Do you believe every book has its perfect reader? Does this contradict the idea that a book can be bad? Well, yeah. I think yes and no. I think every book has its reader, and I don't think that this contradicts the fact that a book is bad or good. Not necessarily. I mean, every book is different. Every author who writes the book is different, and every person who picks up the book is different, goes into a book with, how to put it, different life experiences, a different character, a different point of view, if you want to call it like that. So I think we could say one man's poison is another man's meat, because there are people that will really dislike a book and others will totally love it. And I think it's just to rate a book, and if you liked it or not is very subjective. I think no one can read a book being completely and totally objective about it, because everyone is different. So yeah, I believe that every book has its perfect reader. Some people will love certain books and others will hate them. And that's fine. We all have different tastes and we all have different preferences, and we're all different as people. Some might enjoy a book, others won't. And I think that answers the question. I won't go into more detail here. Let's leave it at that. Let's just take it like this. Very interesting questions and really tough questions to answer. Okay, question number 6. What book that you hated have you recommended? That's an easy one. None. I would never, ever in my entire life recommend a book I hated, because I couldn't, for the life of me, do it with good conscience. So the only books I really recommend are the ones I liked, or at least could find something positive about it. So you might say my recommendations start with 2 stars and go up, but I would never ever in my entire life recommend someone a book I hated and only rated 1 star. Okay. Really, life is too short to read books you hate. Question number 7. What makes a book good, bad or great by your evaluation? I think I already discussed this a lot with the other questions, or while answering the other questions. A book has to make me invested. It has to kind of challenge me, to keep me guessing or questioning or wondering. It has to have a very emotional impact on me. It has to make me feel things. I once told my mother that a book is only good for me if it has an emotional impact on me and if it makes me feel. and I still stand by that rule. And yeah, I think those two are the biggest things that make books good for me. But I also love character-driven books, and I love it when characters are well developed, when you can relate to them, or if you can't relate, you can at least follow their train of thought and what led them to do this decision. And yeah, tropes aren't actually something that make a book good for me. I mean, it's always good to know about certain tropes or that they are going to be in the book, but I don't necessarily have to have them in the book, if that makes sense. This is a very funny video for me because I didn't prepare anything, and I guess you can see it by the way I answer those questions. When evaluating the quality of a book, do you have specific criteria or aspects of the book, such as character development, that you consider? Does this change if you are writing an in-depth review versus just thinking about the book for enjoyment? Yes, I think that's one of the things that's so typical for my reviews. When I write reviews and when the characters had a great character arc and the development and were really well thought out characters, it shows in my review, because then I will talk about the single characters and will, I don't know, give them some sort of spotlight and talk about every individual character of the book and their relationships to each other. And if it's just a great book, but the characters weren't all too in-depth, or I just couldn't grasp them all too well, it will be a short review, and I will write it in the more overall style and will just, I don't know, mention certain parts of the book that I liked, but I won't go into the details of the characters and their development. Yeah, I think I can answer it like that. I just realized that I'm not really answering any of those questions the way they should be answered, but I honestly don't care. Yeah, reading is very subjective, and I think it shows in my answers. Okay, let's see to question number 9. Do you consider star ratings or average ratings when choosing books to read, add to your to-be read? Yes, I do. I only pick up books, and I'm gonna be really honest here, I only pick up books if they have at least 3.95 star ratings on Goodreads. Because everything that's below this number will probably end up not being a favorite of mine. And over the years I got pretty good at knowing which kind of books are for me or not. I think it shows in my ratings because usually books get at least 3 or 4 stars from me, and very rarely 5. But honestly, the times I give 2 or 1 star are very, 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 I think you can count them on one hand. So yeah, I always take star ratings into consideration because they are a good way to indicate if I will like a book or not, and especially if people I know very well give it a 4-star rating, or if someone who reads similar books like me and rates a book 2 stars and I love the person and their reviews, then I will know that it's definitely not for me as well. So yes, star ratings influence my reading, and I think in a good way because I rarely read bad books. Question number 10. Who on BookTube does reliable and interesting reviews of books that you know you can use to decide if a book is for you or not? What makes the reviews so good? I think that would include everyone I'm following. I can't really mention certain people because I'm following so many BookTube channels. You have no idea. I really should cut down on adding even more channels to my watch list. But aside from that, they all read in different genres. For instance, I follow some channels that are more in the genre of horror, but I also follow a couple of channels that read young adult or romance. So they all have great channels, they all have amazing content, and they all are definitely more eloquent than I am. So I think their eloquence is something I would love to have, but unfortunately I'm not as eloquent as the other booktubers I watch, and I strive to be. I'm working on it. But yes, I still got a lot of work to do, and I think that already answers the next question. And the next question is, does those booktubers use different language than you to evaluate and review the overall quality of a book? And yes, they definitely use different language than I do to evaluate a book and to talk about it. They are, as I said, way more eloquent than I am. They probably, or a lot of them probably, have English as their mother tongue, so maybe that helps to express yourself better and to explain in more depth what a book is about and if it's good or not. I'm kind of missing that eloquence and fluidity when it comes to English, I think. So I'm working on it. I'm trying to get even better. But it might take some time until I'm actually able to really say what I think. It's easier, it's so much easier for me when I write reviews, because then I have the time to sit down and to analyze everything. When I'm on cam, I usually don't have the time, and this makes it a little bit harder and more challenging to find the right words for something. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. I strive to be like some of the amazing booktubers on here that really have a way to put their feelings into words. Okay, and I think that was already the last question. I'm done here, finally. I think this is going to be a long tech video. I don't know if I will have a lot of time to record other videos in September. I don't even know when this one is going to get up. So yeah, I'm slowly but steadily catching up to tech videos. And I guess that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, comment in the comments down below. Probably you have a different point of view or a different opinion when it comes to books and rating or reviewing them. I would love to hear it. So please just write it down. I answer to everyone who writes a comment on here, so you'll definitely get an answer from me. Okay, let's wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're still healthy and fine. Take care and see you around the next time. Bye! Oh, Jesus. I can trust all of them to give me good recommendations and to... the bell just rang.